on agenda review, ACFS. You want to read it? You usually
No,
read it?
not for the agenda review.
Okay.
Austin will usually say like agenda review doing ACFS live.
Keep establish FY 2025 budget.
Yes. So what we're here today for is a resolution to establish a budget for a new federal LIHEAP award in the amount of $19,835. This funding will be available to us through 9/30 of '26, and we expect to serve approximately 25 additional households with these funds.
Any questions from the board?
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
you. 105L IHS Facility Lease Program. William, or is it you, Andrew?
It's me. All right, so this, if you guys recall, last year, we had submitted a resolution for the BIA 105L program, and now we're submitting a 105L program for the health centers for IHS, and that's what this is.
Hey, Andrew, the only question I have, did we already do the St. Ignace Health Facility?
That is not in my inventory, so I am only able to do the buildings that are in my inventory for the lease program.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you, Andrew. Approving contract for Metal Quest.
Hello, Carrie Horton, Clinic Manager of the Sault Tribe Health Center. Basically, the purpose of this resolution would be to approve the Metal Quest contract that would provide medical record storage, retrieval, and destruction of medical health records for the Sault Tribe Health Center in accordance with Michigan law. The initial expenditure with box level indexing is $50,000. Freight is estimated at $8,000. Lodging and per diem is estimated at $6,000. And additionally, Metal Quest will remove mobile shelving in the Sioux site for $2,500, totaling $66,500.
Any questions? Hearing none, thank you. Oh, Bridget. Yeah, occasionally I look.
Just a question, since it says in here with accordance with Michigan law, do we really care or do we really need to be compliant with Michigan law?
I have Toyo here, who is our medical records administrator, and she'll answer that question for you. Here.
We followed the disposition schedule for the Michigan state law. We used to follow IHS standard disposition, and we changed that. And I want to say, I might be wrong on the year, but I want to say that it was like around 2015, because IHS standards were 75 years, and we just couldn't keep up with the storage of that then. So that's why we follow the Michigan disposition schedule now. Yep.
Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you. Partial waiver of convictions for Mr. James Allard.
So those are the three resolutions and then new business.
Good afternoon. This resolution is seeking a partial waiver of a conviction for the purposes of getting a gaming license for Mr. James Allard. He workshopped this 2 weeks ago. He meets all the qualifications under tribal code, and the prosecutor's office would recommend a waiver for Mr. Allard.
Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I'll abstain because he just my niece just had a child with him. So.
Thanks, Josh. Auth to enter into contract with Worldwide Tech.
This resolution is seeking to authorize a contract with Worldwide Technology for the purposes of a security assessment. And there was a previous contract awarded in Resolution 2025-78 to Bulletproof, and negotiations with them fell through, so the tribe is looking to move forward with the other vendor who bid on the project.
Any questions for Josh or Nick? Nick, explain why it fell through.
Yeah, so Bulletproof submitted a bid that looked good on paper, but ultimately, we're not able to meet our insurance insurance requirements that are listed right on the RFP, so.
Thank you. Don't see any other questions. Thanks, guys. Award contract to Core Telecom Systems for broadband equipment and services of Adtran and batteries and rectifiers. Danny?
So this is one of 3 resolutions that will be brought forward tonight. All are part of the Reconnect 3 funded project that is fully funded by USDA RUS. These, all 3 of these items have gone through our purchasing and have recommendations attached to the resolutions. If there's any questions, I can answer them at a high level, and also our broadband, the CEO of Cherry Capital Connections, our broadband partner, is on the line if there's any more technical questions that arise.
Any questions? Not seeing any. Danny, you want to move on to award of contract to Millennium for broadband outside plant materials?
Yes, this would be to supply the materials for the broadband project, which will be given to the contractor once the contractor is selected. The material yard will be controlled by the Sioux Tribe and our operating partner, Cherry Capital Connections. This is to ensure that all the proper components are used, and they've had greater success in the past when they actually bring the inventory in, as opposed to allowing the contractor to bring it in to make sure the materials that we want to build that network are used.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to your last one, is it, or you got 2 more?
Nope.
Award contract to Millennium for broadband equipment services, 6WIN software.
Yeah, this is also for that same project. It is equipment. It was just how the award had to be broken out on components. The actual RFPs were broken out per different component for USDA guidelines as far as who, for what was bid out to multiple vendors. So that would be the 3rd one tonight.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
So we have 3 additional resolutions, if there's board support. The first one will be Natural Resources Department 2025 Back Bay Walleye Enhancement. Jack? Just so everybody knows, we did do it last year and we were paid $36,000. Go ahead.
This resolution would support a contract between Sault Ste. Marie Tribe and Bay Mills Indian Community we would stock about 100,000 fingerling walleye into Back Bay and be compensated $36,000. It's similar to agreements that Bay Mills had with IPVAP back when there was that organization.
Any questions for Jack? Hearing none, thanks, Jack. Amending the internal loan for settlement of JLLJ Development LLC and Lansing Futures Development 2 LLC versus Keewaydin Casinos Authority, right? Is that what we're saying? Okay. That must be you, Ryan.
Isaac, do we have these resolutions? Are we getting copies or?
I think we're getting copies of them.
printed right now. They're being printed. But I gotta go.
So this resolution is to effectuate the change of our original loan agreement from the tribe to Kuwaitin in regards to the JLLJ settlement. We recently amended that agreement and made a $10 million payment last week to close out that agreement and end that litigation. This was $7 million from the tribe to Kuwaitin, so we want to add that to the note, keep the same interest rate, and then extend the terms of that note by 2 years, so 9 years total for Kuwaitin to pay back the tribe.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
So then, under new business, we're going to add another commercial fishing license transfer. Hallberg?
Yes.
Good evening, Board. Yeah, we had the one on from Laverne Alexander to his son, Aaron Alexander. And then last night, we approved the transfer from Ray Hellberg to Chris Kaburski, and that's the second one. Ray Hellberg to Chris Kaburski is the one we would like to have added to this agenda tonight.
Any questions?
Committee voted for it? The committee voted.
Yeah, both these were unanimous. Okay,
Any other questions? Thanks, Clarence.
thank you.
Danny is gonna have that Tanglewood one. It's gonna be that's what the title will be.
Okay. Is that it coming now? We'll just wait a second. Hey, Danny.
Maybe just explain what it is and then he can finish it and we can.
Yeah, I just waited until we had the copy of it.
I'm gonna have a copy of the Halberd and hand it out to these guys who actually make copies. What will we do with that?
Nothing. She runs the,
I know it. Okay, thank you.
did you get the one from Danny?
Yeah, he just sent it, so I'm gonna print it out.
Okay, okay, so I'll just go over it. Okay, we're gonna add another resolution for the Enterprise Tanglewood Personnel Restructure. Danny?
Yes, this is to seek, this is in line with the resolution I presented last time. Due to some of the resignations, it was necessary to restructure the personnel, and there was a position that came up after that that we would also like to make some changes to. So requesting permission, authorization to do that, and this was something that just came up of recent, or I would have had that in sooner. So you have the resolution, and the RIS will be accompanying it shortly.
Any questions? Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
You just wanna do board concerns?
Did we do all of the?
Bridget wants to go in close, so if anybody's got any in open,
Didn't do the committee appointments
Yeah, I was
yet.
gonna say we didn't do.
do we want to do those right now with the rent agenda review?
Request for close, did you just say that?
Yeah.
Do we want to do those?
We usually just run through them just to, I mean,
Okay, before we go into close, we already looked at the Conservation Committee. We'll go to committee appointments.
should be just amended.
So under Culture Committee appointments, Rachel Mandelstrom? is it?
Randall Stam
Mandelstam
and Brian.
and Brian Moore.
Yep.
Under Elder Subcommittee, St. Ignace, removal, Teresa Weller. And that's it. Okay, we'll have everybody leave. The board will go into closed May 20th, 2025, it's 5 o'clock. We'll call the Board of Directors regular meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Larry Barbeau.
Here.
Michael McCurchy.
Here.
Bridget Sorensen.
Here.
Tyler LaPlante. Kimberly Hampton.
Here.
Rob McGrory.
Here.
Kimberly Gravel. Isaac McKechnie.
Here.
Kimberly Lee.
Here.
Sean Borowitz.
Here.
Lana Cosley Smith.
Here.
Aaron Paymont.
Here.
And Austin Lowe's.
Need a motion to excuse Tyler, Austin, and Kim.
I'll support.
Got a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Now we need to read into the agenda. We have what, 4 now, right? Four resolutions. Natural Resources 2025 Back Bay Walleye Enhancement, amending the internal loan for settlement of JLLJ Development LLC and Lansing Future Development 2 LLC, Keewatin Casinos Authority, Gaming Authority. Tanglewood Personnel Restructure, amending Resolution 24-135, 25-68, Reconnect 3 and 4 grant documents.
Commercial license transfer.
And the commercial license transfer under new business.
Motion to waive the rules and have these resolutions.
Support? Got a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Invocation, Mr. Dr. Paymont.
Yep. You can sit if you would like. As you get older, we want to remind people they can feel comfortable if they'd like. Ani buju biwakajig indishnakas. Makwa magizi andorum, bawating adonjaba, anishnabe, ojibwe, odawa, otawatami andao. Miigwich wabanang, miigwich jawanang, miigwich ingabinang, miigwich kuwadanang. Miigwich nokamas sayak, miigwich misho ayak, miigwich aki, miigwich nabish, miigwich endodoshabo, miigwich gawin dimindiminda. So I just did my morning prayer in Anishinaabe Moin, and we all should know at least that prayer because we're supposed to know it when we cross over, so you're not stumped and you don't get stuck. And it is just giving thanks to our Mother Earth, to our waters, to our first sustenance, which is mother's milk. So no matter what your relationship is with your mom gave you life, so you owe her your life. And I also gave an old prayer, which was Miigwech Kuwin Dimindiminda, which is giving recognition and thanks to your ancestors, your line of people who were here before you, and recognizing you are one point in a timeline for your future generations, and you have a role and responsibility for each other. We are responsible for each other. Miigwech.
Okay, on tonight's agenda, we have membership participation, meeting minutes for 5/6 to 7/25. Is that
It was a 2-day meeting,
2-day, the 5th and 6th?
6 and
Or 6th and 7th of May, and 5/13/2025. Under resolutions, ACFS Lehigh Establishment, Lehigh, right? Lehigh. Establishment of FY 2025 budget, 105L IHS Facility Lease Program, approving contract Metal Quest, partial waiver of convictions for Mr. James Allard, authorized to enter into contract with Worldwide Tech, award contract to Core Telecom Systems for broadband equipment services at AdTran and batteries and rectifiers. Award contract to Millennium for broadband outside plant materials. Award contract to Millennium for broadband equipment services. 6 Wind Software. And the ones that we added, natural resources, 2025 Back Bay Walleye Enhancement, amending the internal loan for settlement of JLLJ Development LLC and Lansing's Future Development 2 LLC, Keewaydin Casinos Gaming Authority, Tanglewood Personnel Restructure, amending Resolution 24-135 and 25-68, Reconnect 3 and 4 grant documents. Under new business, we have Conservation Committee request, which is the transfer of the commercial licenses, committee appointments, board concerns, adjourn into executive session if we need to, reconvene and reaffirm, and adjournment. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll motion.
Got a motion and support? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Now, under membership participation, got any forms? So what we do is we allow you 5 minutes to speak to the board. We don't go back and forth. They're all closed. Oh, they're all closed too. So they're all closed, so we'll start off with Lori. there, but we had to address a few things. So I need a motion to approve the minutes from 5/6-7 of 2025.
Support.
Got a motion and support. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
I'll abstain, Lana. You're abstaining, Lana?
Need a motion to approve the minutes from 5/13/2025.
Motion.
Motion, need support? Got a motion and support. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. 8, so we'll jump down to resolutions. ACFS Lehigh establishment of FY 2025 budget.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of an FY 2025 budget for LIHEAP with federal HHS revenue monies of $19,835, no effect on tribal support. Support.
Got a motion and support?
Yep, that was me. Yep, that was me.
Yes.
All in favor?
Nope.
All-
Nope.
No, wait, yeah,
Got to describe it.
Yep.
go ahead. I'm ready.
Good afternoon, Megan Miller,
Trying to
Direct
speed it up.
Services Program Director with ACFS. What this resolution will do is establish a budget for a new federal award that we received for our LIHEAP program. The amount of $19,835 will be available to us through 9/30/26. And we anticipate serving approximately 25 additional households with these funds.
Any questions? None? Got a motion and support? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Andrew. 105 IHS, 105L IHS Facility Lease Program.
Now therefore be resolved that the tribal chairman is hereby authorized to submit lease proposals under section 105-1 of Public Law 93-638 to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Indian Health Service for the following facilities: Sioux Tribe Health Center located at 2864 Ashman, Sault Ste. Marie; Manistee Community Center located at 5696W US 2; Munising Health Center located at 622 West Superior Street, Munising; Newberry Health Center located at 4935 Zizbatik Lane, Newberry; Gladstone Health and Fitness Center located at 2002 Minneapolis Avenue, Gladstone. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes the negotiation and execution of said lease agreements and the implementation of such leases for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2025, and for any subsequent lease periods for which funding is available. Be it finally resolved that the Chairman and Secretary of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians are designated as the appropriate officials to verify and attest to the accuracy of information submitted for the purpose of calculating lease compensation under section 105-1 of Public Law 93-638.
Motion.
Support.
Got a motion and support? Andrew.
Andrew Land with Facilities Management. So this is just requesting to submit lease proposals to the 105L program under IHS. We had already submitted it for the BIA, and now we're looking to add it to the IHS one to cover the health services.
Questions? Kim?
Yeah, quick question on the Manistee Community Center. Is that address verified? Because I could swear to God it's 5698 WUS 2.
That is the address that we have on file for it, but I can verify.
Yeah, because,
Well, we need to verify.
Recommend with any technical.
yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
when I worked there, it was always 5698.
Got a motion to amend, support?
Yep.
Yep.
Got a motion and support. So on the amendment, any questions? Hearing none? Roll, or we don't need a roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Now back on the original resolution. Any other questions? We got a motion and support. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks.
Approving contract with MetalQuest.
Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians Board of Directors hereby approves the contract with Metal Quest for the Health Division for $66,500 plus additional monthly fees as detailed in the attached RIS. I'll motion.
Got a motion, support? Support. Got a motion and support? Carrie.
Good evening. Carrie Horton, Clinic Manager of the Sioux Tribe Health Center. The purpose of this resolution would be to approve the MediQuest contract that will provide medical record storage, retrieval, and destruction of medical health records for the Sioux Tribe Health Centers in accordance with Michigan law. Initial expenditure with box level indexing is $50,000. Freight is estimated at $8,000. Lodging and per diem is estimated at $6,000. Additionally, MediQuest will remove the mobile shelving in the Sioux, at the Sioux site for $2,500, totaling $66,500.
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Rob McGrory.
Yes.
Sorry. Michael.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Here we go. Larry.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Got a motion, support, all in favor was good, so approved, thank you.
Thank you.
Partial waiver conviction, Mr. James Allard.
Now therefore it be resolved that the Board of Directors pursuant to Tribal Code, Chapter 76, grants a partial waiver to Mr. James Allard.
Do we have a motion and support?
Need a motion and support? Got a motion and support? Josh?
Good evening, Josh Elliott, Legal Department. This resolution is seeking a partial waiver of a conviction for the limited purpose of receiving a gaming license for Mr. James Allard. Mr. Allard meets all the requirements under the code for a partial waiver, and the prosecutor's office would support a partial waiver for Mr. Allard.
Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I'm going to abstain because I have a close familial tie.
Okay, thank you. Got a motion and support, all in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
Bridget and Kim Hampton.
Motion carried.
Yep, and any abstentions?
Authorization to enter into a contract with Worldwide Tech. Nick?
Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors approves awarding the security assessment and testing contract to Worldwide Technology up to $125,805 and up to $7,500 for consultant travel and incidentals related to completing this project. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes a governmental CFO to execute any and all documents as may be necessary and appropriate to carry out the terms, conditions, intent, and administration of this resolution, including but not limited to the ability and authority to implement any budgetary changes administratively without the need for formal Board of Directors budget modifications utilizing tribal support. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes the governmental CFO to perform administrative budget modifications necessary to refund tribal support between the different divisions. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors authorizes the chairman of the tribe or their designee to enter into and execute the contract and any supporting documents with Worldwide Technology to fulfill the intent of this resolution. Be it finally resolved that the Board of Directors hereby rescinds Resolution 2025-78.
Need a motion and support.
I'll motion.
Got a motion and support? Nick?
So this resolution here was originally, is rescinding the original resolution that awarded Bulletproof the contract. They did not meet the requirements for the RFP as it was written. Therefore, we can't move forward with that company. So we're hoping to remove or rescind that resolution and then move forward with the other bidder on the project, which is Worldwide Technologies.
Josh, you reviewed the contract and you're good?
Yes, it is a contract drafted by the legal department.
Thank you. Any questions for the board? Hearing none, roll call.
Lana.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you, guys. Award contract to Core Telecom Systems for broadband equipment, services, ADTRAN, and batteries and rectifiers.
Now therefore be resolved that the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians Board of Directors hereby approves the broadband electronics software and services agreement with Core Telecom Systems for $390,457.11 from cost center 13071. This activity is fully grant funded by USDA Rural Utility Service RUS Reconnect Grant. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes and approves the tribal chairman or his designee to execute any and all documents, including as may be necessary and appropriate, to carry out the terms, conditions, and intent of this resolution.
I'll support. Got a motion and support? Danny?
Yes, this is seeking authorization to purchase equipment for the Reconnect 3 build-out, which is the broadband network, which spans from Sault Ste. Marie to St. Ignace. This was sent through the purchasing department, and this is the purchasing department's recommendation and agreed with by the broadband team.
Josh, again, you looked at this contract
Yes.
and you approve it?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Sean?
Yes.
Lana?
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Michael? Yes. Rob?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Bridget?
Yes.
Kimberly Lee?
Yes.
Carried.
Danny, you might still stay in the hot seat. Award a contract to Millennium for broadband outside plant materials.
Now therefore be resolved that the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians Board of Directors hereby approves the broadband outside plant materials agreement with Millennium for $4,095,837.98 from cost center 13071. This activity is fully granted by USDA Rural Utility Service Reconnect Grant. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes and approves the tribal chairman or his designee to execute any and all documents, including as may be necessary and appropriate, to carry out the terms, conditions, and intent of this resolution.
Motion.
I'll support.
Got a motion and support? Danny?
Okay, yes, this is for the materials to construct the broadband network from the Sault to St. Ignace. It's fully funded by Reconnect 3. The materials will be purchased and controlled in our materials yard and provided to the contractor when selected.
Questions from the board? Bridget?
Dan, do we have an idea of completion?
Well, we're looking at groundbreaking late July, August, and it's an 18-month project. So if we do hit those timelines, hopefully 18 months from when we start, it will be completed. So,
Danny,
once
can
start-
we get a copy of the project schedule?
I can give you the current 90-day schedule. That is complete. But as far as pushing out past then, we want to break ground. So I'll give you what we have. It's a rough schedule, but
So just so everybody knows, when you're installing fiber, well, it's in the air or in the ground, that in the ground, you got to use a machine that pumps water and mud in the ground to keep the hole open. So weather conditions greatly affect that. So there'll probably be 3 months where they might not do anything, and it really depends on Mother Nature. Josh, you're good with the contract?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Roll call.
Aaron?
Yes.
Bridget?
Yes.
Kimberly Lee?
Yes.
Sean? Larry?
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton?
Yes.
Michael? Yes. Isaac? Rob?
Yes.
Lana?
Yes.
I'm not the only one making mistakes. Thanks, Danny. You're still in the seat, though. Award contract to Millennium for broadband equipment and services, 6-Win Software.
Now therefore be resolved that the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians Board of Directors hereby approves the broadband electronics software and services agreement with Millennium for $87,051 from cost center 13071. This activity is fully grant funded by USDA Rural Utility Service Reconnect Grant. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes and approves the tribal chairman or his designee to execute any and all documents, including as may be necessary and appropriate, to carry out the terms, conditions, and intent of this resolution.
Motion.
I'll support.
Got a motion and support? Did you get that?
Is it Kim Hampton?
Oh, Rob. Rob, Larry, Rob.
Yes, this is for software support services for the broadband network as previously described. This was ran through our purchasing department and awarded to Millennium for the amount described in the resolution, seeking authorization to enter into agreement.
Annie, what's the software used for?
What's that?
What's the software used for?
That would be, Tim was supposed to be on the line. It is to do with some of the traffic into broadband. As far as the exact specifics, that's why we have a consultant on there. This is just to support the equipment that was purchased in Resolution 1.
Okay, I won't hold your feet to the fire, but could you get me that answer?
Yeah, Tim was supposed to be on this line, and he had a family emergency just when we get these technical questions that, he's the
Yeah.
engineer in the broadband. I don't want to speak to it. I think I know more detail, but I'd let him speak to that. That's why they're on the project as project managers, that's their industry broadband. So just
Josh?
high level, it's to support the piece of equipment from Resolution 1. But I can get specifics for you and have them emailed out tonight.
Great. Josh, you good with the contract?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Roll call, please.
Rob,
Yes.
Kimberly Lee, Aaron,
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Lana,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Okay, Natural Resources 2025 Back Bay Walleye Enhancement. Jack?
Now therefore be resolved, the Sioux Tribe Board of Directors authorizes the contract with Bay Mills Indian Community. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes and approves the chairman of the tribe or their designee to execute any and all documents as may be necessary and appropriate to carry out the terms, conditions, and intent of this resolution.
Motion.
Got a motion to support, Rob. Jack?
Jack Timokowski, Fisheries Program Lead at your Natural Resources Division, AG in Wendiang. This contract is a single-year contract. Effectively, we would be stocking 100,000 fingerling walleye into Back Bay and receive $36,000 compensation. All the other deliverables noted on the contract are things that we do wherever we stock fish, so.
Jack, can you just, for the public, let them know where else you're stocking so it doesn't sound like we're only putting 100,000 fingerlings there, please?
Absolutely. The walleye hatchery typically produces about 1 million walleye fingerlings every year. We put 460,000 into the lower St. Mary's River, including of that about 225,000 are near or stocked from Sugar Island. Outside of the river, we have stocking that meets our commercial interests. There's 300,000 in St. Martin's Bay, 150,000 at Sheboygan, and 75,000 at Apofet.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Hearing none. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Amending the internal loan for settlement of JLLJ Development LLC in Lansing Future Development to LLC, Keewaydin Casinos Authority.
Now therefore be resolved that the Board of Directors hereby directs the interim chief financial officer to amend the original loan agreement to add $7 million to the note and to keep the interest rate of 4%. Be it further resolved that the term of the loan be extended from 7 years to 9 years. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes the chairman or his designee to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the amended loan.
Ryan?
This resolution will amend
Oh,
the.
wait.
You gotta get.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion, support. Support? You want to support anything?
I'll support.
We got a motion and support. Ryan?
I got excited. It's been a long day.
Ryan? She's looking at me. I'm bullying her.
This resolution will amend the loan documents between the tribe and Keewaydin Casinos. This was to effectuate the settlement agreement with the JLLJ litigation. As we all know, we had to amend that settlement agreement and last week make a payment. which necessitated another $7 million to be loaned from the tribe to Kuwaitin. This will add that $7 million to the loan under the same interest rate terms and extend the term of the loan by 2 years, bringing it from 7 years to 9 for repayment.
Any questions from the board? Hey, and this will conclude our business with
And we,
LLJ.
yeah, once that payment was made, that concluded all litigation efforts with JLLJ. The settlement is done, it's signed, the payment's made, and so everything's been filed with the court to conclude that litigation that we had ongoing.
So this project cost us millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, and at least we still got some property, right?
We still have what we call the Sibley parcel. That was not part of the amended agreement, so we do still have that property downstate, yes.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Larry.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Aaron.
No.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Rob.
No.
Kimberly Lee.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
7-2. 7 yes.
Motion carried. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Bill. Didn't even ask you a question, Bill. How do you like that? Huh? Tanglewood Personnel Restructure. Danny?
Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians Board of Directors authorizes the CEO of Enterprise Operations to implement the changes described in the attached RIS concerning personnel in an effort to maintain continuity in the operations of Tanglewood Marsh Golf Course. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors authorizes the CEO of Enterprise Operations to make all budgetary adjustments administratively necessary to carry out the intent of this resolution. All motion.
Support?
Got a motion and support? Dan?
Yes, this is similar to the resolution I brought forward at the last meeting. There were just some structural changes that needed to be made from a personnel standpoint after some leadership resignations to ensure continuity in operations and to be able to effectively operate during this golf season.
Any questions for the board? Hey, Danny, just so you know, I reached out to Jeff Cox from BlackRock. He's the CEO, and he helped, I believe, your manager with the menu for that facility. So
She was working on the menus, and I believe they had some contact, but we do have a preliminary menu, and soon as we have the new cook hired there, we'll finalize that. So
awesome.
we should have a good food product up there this summer.
All in favor?
Aye. All
opposed? Motion carried. Amending Resolution 24-135, 25-68, Reconnect 3 and 4 grant documents. Dan?
Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians Board of Directors amends Resolution 2024-135 and 2025-68 to replace Robert Schulte, Tribal CFO, and Christine McPherson, Tribal CEO, with Bill Connolly, Interim Tribal CFO, and Jessica Dumbach, Interim Tribal CEO.
Motion.
Got a motion and support? Now, Dan.
Yes, this authorization just seeks to replace the former government CFO and CEO with the current interim, and the individuals in the interim capacity, just to ensure that we don't have any issues with signing documents. There are some that are in motion right now for Reconnect 4, and this will ensure that we can keep the document flow and project moving on schedule.
Aaron?
What is the grant funding source again?
USDA RUS, Rural Utility Service.
I would make a motion to amend to include the tribal chairperson in the list.
Excuse me, Aaron, that they're already on the original resolution.
The chairperson's already on the original resolution.
Yeah.
This is just amending the other two
There
staff.
was
Okay, I'm good.
There's some documents that require multiple signatures, up to 5 on those documents. It's pretty rigorous, the process with the funding source. So those 3 are in the original resolution, the other board officials, and then.
Okay,
so
I'm good.
Josh, you're good with that?
Yes. This is just cleaning up the requirements for USDA to be able to process all the grant documents in a timely manner.
Thank you. Any other questions? Got a motion and support. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Conservation Committee request. First one I have, wait for Clarence. It's Laverne Alexander to transfer to Aaron Alexander.
Correct. Laverne's requesting that his license be transferred to his son, Aaron. This was a unanimous vote at the Conservation Committee. He has some medical issues, and that's all I'm going to say on it. He just wants to get the license in his son's name.
Okay.
Support.
Got a motion and support. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, now you have another one from Raymond Hallberg.
Yeah, Raymond Hallberg to Chris Kaburski. Mr. Kaburski's in the audience. He's back there. This also passed unanimously at the Conservation Committee level, and so we're requesting that that gets approved by the board.
Got a motion from Aaron. Support. Larry, got a motion and support. All in favor? All opposed? Thanks, Clarence.
On behalf of the committee, I would like to wish Captain Kaburski fair winds and following seas, safety out there at all times, and many bountiful catches.
And some type of free fish once in a while. Okay, committee appointments. Got your list? Right there. Okay, Conservation Committee, no, Culture Committee appointments. Randy Mandelstam?
Rachel.
Rachel. Oh, Randy. What the heck was I thinking of Randy?
It's been a long day.
Appointment term to expire May 2029. Need a motion.
A motion.
Got a motion and support. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Brian Moore appointment term to expire May of 2029. Got a motion and support. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Elder Subcommittee, Teresa Wella, alternate member, term set to expire March 2028.
To accept the removal
Of,
from the unit.
yes. Motion, support, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
You opposed?
Okay, board concerns? I think we addressed most of them, right? So we can move on with that. Awesome. Need a motion to adjourn. Got a motion and support, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, everyone, appreciate it.
Wow.